Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today you're gonna see me talk about a rifle that I've used over and over again in my videos, and yeah, it's sort of my main squeeze, as you'd call it, the main rifle that I use for the majority of my shooting, which is my 22 Creedmoor. So what got me looking at the 22 Creedmoor? So it started out in the office at work, surprisingly. So I was at the time running a 22 250 shooting Hornady 50 grain VMAX, and sometimes in the UK it can get a bit wet and windy during our autumn and winter time. So I wanted something which shot a heavier bullet, and one of my colleagues, Ryan, recommended I should take a look at this rifle. To which I did, watched a fair few videos on it. There's also a Instagram page of a chap called Shocking 300. I'll throw up a clip on the screen. You'll see why I sort of went for this caliber. It's pretty cool. It's like a 730 yard shot or something like that with a 22 Creed. So yeah, pretty remarkable stuff. So yeah, that sort of led me down the path. So got in touch with Mike Norris, who builds my rifles. Said, Mike, I'm looking at doing something like this. Is this possible? He's like, yeah, absolutely. You get all the stuff you need, and then just bring it on over to me, and we'll get this thing spun up for you. So that's exactly what I did. So I went with a Cadex 7 stars action. At the time, it was something which Highland Outdoors had started bringing into the country. Really liked the action. So it's a tri-lug action. I believe it's a 60-degree bolt throw, Rem 700 clone. Yeah, really smart action. I'll throw up the tech specs on screen regarding it. Yeah, super clean, nice fluted bolt. Yeah, nice positive ejection on cartridges as well, which is always a winner. I'll leave that bolt open. Obviously, rifle's all safe and clear, so you don't need to worry about that. As for barrel, I'm running a Proof Sendero. I believe it's a 1 in 7. It's either 1 in 7 or 1 in 8. It slips my memory. 22-inch barrel. Reason I went for this is because I wanted to shoot a heavier bullet. So there's a lot of people that are running sort of 50 and 60 grain bullets in these rifles, which you can get extremely fast. Yeah, I've seen some people pushing 4,000, I believe. So in this rifle, I am shooting 77 grain Sierra tip match kings. Now you may ask, why am I shooting tip match kings for a rifle that I use on for vermin or for deer? The simple thing is, look, we tried and tested the bullet, made a load for it. It works extremely well. On animals, there is the expansion there, so it's not just zipping straight through. Animals aren't running off. There's enough hydrostatic shock that as soon as it hits them, they just drop. I will put video clips on the screen. You can see exactly what I mean. Some of them are pretty graphic. Some of them, yeah, it just stops stuff in its tracks, which is exactly what I wanted from this rifle. Trigger, I am running a Trigger Tech Diamond 2-stage trigger, which is set pretty light. I do enjoy a light trigger for me. Having the 2-stage, it just allows me to sort of know where I am, so I'm able to get to the wall. I did used to previously shoot single stage in the 22 250 I had, but I opted for the 2-stage this time just to sort of give me a bit extra control when it comes to shooting at night. Chassis, it's an MDT XRS. Yeah, in terms of sort of target to vermin shooting, I believe this is probably the best crossover there is. I've got the enclosed fore end on it also, so that allows me to have a full-length Arca rail on the bottom, as I do shoot off a tripod. So I shoot off a Vortex Radian tripod with their ball head, so that's got an Arca plate on the tripod. As for scope and scope mounts, Tier 1, British made, super mount, yeah. It does the job, excellent mount, extremely repeatable. I've had the scoping them out on and off the rifle previously, and it's held 0 or it's been 0.1 off, to which is just an easy adjustment, so that's super nice. You all know me that I've recently started using the front clip-on, so again, bought the Rusan MAR S series of clip-on from the guys at Zaramex, and then obviously the guys at Rusan reached out to me recently, so fortunate enough to be doing some bits with them, some reviews, which is extremely nice. Normally on the front of there, I do run them at mate 50 from infrared. As you know, I went out last night. It was pretty windy and wet, so I didn't record anything. Wasn't there. The intention was getting ready to go home. Saw some rabbits on the piece of ground that we were on. The landowner doesn't like them there, as they've been digging up the foundation of a building, which isn't very good. So took the 2 rabbits from there at 338 yards in the wind and the rain, which was an interesting experience. But yeah, absolutely nailed them both at that distance. So it just goes to show how well this cartridge reacts in the elements. So yeah, really, really smart. Barrel's carbon fiber barrel, as you can see. Barrel life is a question when it comes to this, depending on how extreme or conservative you want to be with this. Barrel life can be anywhere from 1,000 to, I'd say, probably 2.5, depending on the speed you want to go. As for me, so I'm running around 3,200 feet per second with a Sierra 77 grain tip Match King. That is in Nosler 6mm Creedmoor brass that's been necked down, and I'm using N165 powder from VIT, and I believe I'm running Remington 9.5 Magnum primers in that. And I think the powder is around 43.3 grains or 0.5 grains, one of the two. I don't reload for this rifle. One of my former colleagues from work does that for me, good friend Ryan. He helped me with all the data and getting this rifle set up and running, so greatly appreciated on his behalf for sort of supplying me with the ammo to go out and do the stuff I do with this rifle, because it's so much fun. In regards to what English guys call moderator, or the American guys would call a suppressor. So here I've got a Wildcat Predate Scout. So they don't make this moderator anymore. Made in the UK. I don't know if the guys in America are able to get these or not. So it's an over barrel moderator with a Scout section, which just means the rear portion that goes over the barrel is slightly shorter than a standard one. Nice big baffle on the inside, super quiet, which is what we like. It is 224 max caliber, so correct projectile size for the moderator, so don't have to worry about any frontward pressure, so making it any louder. Yeah, Wildcat moderators, just can't say enough about them. They're just absolutely superb. They did a job. And then I've also got a Mirage cover or suppressor cover, whatever you want to call it, from Presidia. Again, thanks to Rich for this. It's just superb. It's not nice if you're sort of firing long strings of shots, which occasionally I do, even with a carbon barrel, I will admit. It's just nice having that there, not to be able to sort of burn my hand if I need to whip the moderator off quickly. And yeah, just let the barrel and rifle cool down. Rifle is threaded M18 by 1 also. That's just personal preference for me. I know a lot of guys are running 5.8s by 24. But yeah, M18 by 1 works for me. Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to go over. I mean, bipod, MDT, Skypod, PsychPod, whatever you want to call it. It's got the BTC head on there, so I'm able to run that on both Arca and Picatinny rails. There's going to be a little project coming up in the near future, which I might put this bipod on. I'm not too sure yet, but that's something for another day. Scope, didn't go over that, so that's a Leupold Mark V for 3.2 18x44 with the PR1 mil reticle. It's the illuminated version also. For what I do, I don't need the Christmas tree reticle, so just nice and simple. Low magnification as well, it works extremely well with the front thermal add-ons whenever you've got that attached. mag range as well. I just find it comfortable to shoot on. I like being able to really wind the magnification down, just so I've got this nice wide field of view. If ever I want to sort of spot anything whilst I'm scanning about for doing the shooting that I do. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much covers everything on this build, I believe. Again, put together by the lovely Norris, and this thing shoots bug hole groups. It is pretty insane. So yeah, who knows? Maybe this might convince you guys out there to buy a 2-tier Creedmoor or build one. Overall, incredibly happy with the rifle itself. It's a absolutely superb platform, extremely versatile, nice and simple, fits me extremely well, being the tall gargantuan ogre that I am. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. If you've got any questions about the build or 2-tier Creedmoor, drop it in the comments. I might be able to answer it, or I can point you in the right direction. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.